Welcome back to another episode of the Green White Checker Podcast. I am Andrew. I'm here with Zach, Joe, and Drake, or Austin.
Hello.
And we're here to talk about Bristol. We got a bunch of NASCAR news, and yeah, we're going to go with our playoff picks again, see how we're doing after the first round of elimination. So let's start talking about the real winner this week. It's not Denny Hamlin. Do you guys know who it is?
America, because Joey Logano isn't winning the championship this year.
Thank goodness.
No, it's BJ McLeod.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
this
true.
man
This man got
just sold his charter that he bought for, I think it was $2 million, for $40 million. Like,
dude got the bag.
this guy, I mean, Rick Ware, take note. Do it.
Yeah.
Get out.
Well, I did. Does he not? He doesn't own the full charter, right? Because I saw people were
Matt
like correcting,
Tifft and somebody
okay.
else.
But still, I mean,
40 million three ways ain't a bad deal.
No,
Oh.
not at all.
Especially when you're in for like less than $1 million each. Like, come on.
Put that
Yeah.
in your Xfinity team, Xfin champ BJ McLeod. Put it in the books.
I'll tell you what
Hey,
upsets me about that though is like, I'm sure everybody wants Dale Jr. NASCAR wants Dale Jr. to have a NASCAR team,
Yeah.
and it's just with these crazy prices, I feel like we're getting further and further away from that ever happening.
Well, because Dale
I agree.
was being cheap when they were 10 mil. No shot, he's paying 50.
He was like, I don't know if it's time to get in when they were. I remember they were like 5 million. They were rumored to be worth like 5 million when he was looking at it. It's like, I don't know, blah 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 blah, and it's just they've been going up and up and up and up and up. So
Yeah.
we'll have to see what this TV deal does. Wonder what that's going to do to
the charter system that's
Yeah.
renewed. It's ends this season, right? This is it. They need to do something over the winter, I think, right? Or is it next year?
I would guess. And last I heard is that the Team Owners Association, whatever the heck they call themselves, and NASCAR are not even close.
Oh, gosh.
Like
Yeah.
I forget who it was. I want to say it was Jeff Gordon, but that could be wrong. Somebody in the media asked somebody who's a part of that where they're at, and they're just not even close.
Yeah, I've heard it from multiple. I think it was Jeff Gordon was talking to, I think it was Gluck. And
You
they
might be
said
right.
it wasn't close. I know Hamlin has said multiple times they're real far off. So as the owners are coming out, saying it's not close, it's not a good thing. I also saw an
No.
article saying that NASCAR doesn't want to renew the charter system. So yeah, it could get really interesting. I mean, going in for $40 million and then it's worth nothing.
Yeah,
So-
I don't know enough about the Chargers either to say like why NASCAR would or wouldn't want them. I know why teams want them, obviously, but I don't know. I don't understand NASCAR's opposition to it if there is one. I don't know why they would have one.
The only thing I think right now that I see kind of as a problem is that we have a lot of people that want to come into NASCAR, but they can't afford a charter and they don't want to take the risk to have to qualify every week. So
Mhm.
they're not.
Well, it's not
coming
just
into
that.
NASCAR.
If you don't have a charter, there's a bunch of like seasonal benefits you don't get. Like I think if you don't have a charter, you don't make the same kind of money.
Right.
Yeah, you don't make the same amount of money, and I think you have to pay more for entry fees and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's like even if you're qualifying in every week, you're still not making out.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'd like to see us go to a larger field again. We got,
Heck yeah.
I think, the interest for it. But
Interest. Yes.
what are you gonna do with the charter system? Like, are you gonna go, hey, we're gonna add, what is it,
40,
4 or 5
43 or whatever
Yeah.
it takes to get you 43.
Yeah. So, but how do you, like, if you're NASCAR, how do you say, okay, we got all these charters, come and get them for $40 million because that's the price now, or does somebody get screwed over here?
I'm sure there's some sort of formula you can figure out because if you add more charters, that's instantly going to devalue the rest of them. So I'm sure there's some sort of formula some accountant out there can figure out. If we add, what are we at, 36 now? So if you would add, say, on the conservative side, 4 or 5 to take it up to 40 or 41, somebody can say it'll devalue these other charters this amount, which means this is a fair price to sell it at.
Right.
I'm sure they can for sure figure that out.
Some equation like that, surely.
Yeah. Like if we add this many charters, it devalues the rest by X.
Mhm.
So that's what we sell this one at.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, he got out at the right time. I don't know. We all want to see Junior get in, right? But at that price, I don't see it happening.
No.
But
No, he'll have to like do the Jimmy Johnson route and like be a part owner.
I mean,
Yeah.
the only way I see him really doing it, even at these prices, is like, I guess, sort of what you were saying, Joe, but like jumping into a team that already exists,
Mhm.
like starting from scratch. So you're paying for the charter and then building cars on top of it.
That ain't happening.
No, I see him, if anything, doing a Justin Marks move and buying an existing team.
Right.
RCR. But
That's what I
would be
thought. That's what I thought before the Kyle Busch move. But now after that, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how long RCR is going to be around.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I thought he was too, with Reddick being there and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
kind of went a different route.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to figure for a team like RCR is investing in Kyle Busch, with not just the upfront cost of Kyle Busch, but the idea of you get a guy like Kyle to build your program. You wouldn't think they'd be getting ready to sell doing something like that.
Yeah.
Of course they could.
I mean,
Who knows?
I don't think he's looking to sell. I just think, as Childress gets older, he might be looking to get out. But is it going to go to Austin
so.
Dillon, or is
Yeah.
it going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
God,
so.
I mean,
I don't hate him in that aspect, to be honest with you. I mean, if he's savvy and smart enough to get Kyle,
that's true. He was the one that reached out. So
maybe he wouldn't be the worst thing for RCR from an owner's perspective. I mean,
yeah,
why not?
Well, so we mentioned that it sold for $40 million. Spire's the one that spent the $40 million. And
they had that much money.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right,
well,
where'd they get that from? They got some deep ass couch cushions over there at Spire.
They got I forgot who it is. They got some money behind them. And basically it sounds like he kind of bought into all three of the charters instead of just buying the one. So, but yeah, Spire buys it, and then they announced that they're going to team up with Trackhouse. They're going to be an affiliate, which I believe they're a Hendrick one now, right?
That sounds
Trackhouse?
right,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't understand how that whole thing works, because Trackhouse is like what do they call it? Like a key partner with Chevy. So they get like all sorts of access to data and sim work and all that
Trackhouse
stuff.
also had the wind tunnel.
Yeah, so they get wind tunnel. Like they own the wind tunnel.
They own the. That's what Corey said.
Oh, really?
Like last season, he said on Stacking Pennies that's why Trackhouse was popping off like they were, is because they had the only. It was like Goodyear or someone had like the underbody wind, like some kind of weird special thing that they only like. A manufacturer had and Trackhouse had, and those are the only two people that had them.
That's right. They bought Ganassi, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Ganassi's got the big wind tunnel. He also has the secret tunnel in Pennsylvania.
So how does that work with? Because I thought there was like a whole restriction on wind tunnel time and all that stuff. So how does that work if you have your own? Wasn't that a thing? Am I crazy for saying that there was like?
There's definitely was. I don't know if there's. I don't know. I haven't heard of
I haven't heard of it being different.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Prove it, I guess.
But anyhow, yes. So they are key partner and get all those benefits that come with it. So now Spire, are they an alliance with Trackhouse? I'm guessing.
Yes,
it's going to be like a heavy alliance because they're putting. Who's getting the one car? Who's going over there?
Zane Smith is going to take over,
Mm-hmm.
but
not the number one of the cars.
Yeah. So it's Zane Smith going to a Spire ride that's a Trackhouse driver.
Yes. That's how I understood it.
Yeah, that's basically how it's coming off. Because I mean, Trackhouse is the one that broke the news that he was coming over there, and I don't know. It's a weird deal to me, but
to me,
it's happened before though.
To me, it sounds like Trackhouse is Red Bull and Spire is AlphaTauri, and Zane Smith is a Red Bull driver, but he's driving for AlphaTauri or Spire Motorsports. Does that make sense?
No, because I don't watch F1. But
no, he's talking gibberish. I mean, it's no different than like who did it? Amarola ran, I don't know, some small Busch car, or not Busch, Xfinity car for some small team, but it was still a Stewart Haas car. So like it's gonna be like the same sort of thing like that. And I think Clint Boyer did something similar before he took over the 14, because he had like a year where he was out of the ride before he could take over Tony's car. So they like did some sort of deal with some team to keep Clint in a car for a year.
Yeah. I remember.
So it's like instead of Trackhouse leasing a charter, Spire is leasing a driver. If you want to think of it that way.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We don't have any other driver news that I can think of. I mean, everybody knows
Benedetto
Carson's...
is then.
Oh yeah.
Matty D's out.
That kind of
Yeah.
broke today. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
was that today that they said? I mean, we
Yeah.
knew he wasn't going back in there next year, and then today they're like, yeah, he's not going to run the rest of the year.
That was
Yeah.
shit,
And then he
Exactly
put out a
where-
tweet that
His
makes it
tweet-
sound like he didn't know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, his tweet made it seem like it was not his decision. So
No.
Pretty abrupt. What I mean, did
yeah,
they really say why?
not that
No.
I've seen.
Not in the
And they-
playoffs anymore, so they moved
They
on.
didn't thank him in the statement. They're just like, we're making a change. Looking forward
Which
to next
is
year.
really weird.
Yeah,
I'm
like,
like, I don't-
Matt didn't make it sound like he had done anything either. It just sounded like they
Yeah.
were like done with him.
It's like,
kind of
I mean,
aside.
Matt's been off my radar pretty much.
Yeah,
But I mean,
I forgot he's
anytime-
still driving. Honestly,
anytime I see a truck, like he seems like he does okay. And I mean, I know that truck's not a race-winning truck by any means. I mean, he
Maybe they
does
think it
okay.
is.
I guess. Good luck. Maybe you're gonna find out it's not. I don't know.
it's at least a playoff truck. So
Yeah, I mean,
there's
they made the
that.
playoffs, but he didn't win any races. Honestly, I mean, he only had a couple top fives, I think. So
Yeah,
maybe
mean, I
they
don't-
expect
yeah.
more out of it. Maybe they got a better driver that they can put in.
But you're that pissed off about his performance that you're gonna let him go the last the last 3 races?
yeah, it's kind of weird.
That's the weird
Yeah.
part. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing weird about. All right, this isn't working out. We think we can do better with a driver, but to be like, yeah, we're not even gonna wait until next season.
I mean, maybe they know, they already know they're
They
not
say
going
who's
to sign him
replacing
for
him?
next year. No, they haven't yet. But maybe they have a chance at some young up and coming driver that they can get, and they're going to see how he does in that truck for 3 races.
and that young and
Up and coming driver with a fat paycheck.
Yep,
Yeah.
with his
Yeah.
money.
But I did hear a rumor that it's the owner's son. So
Yeah. I
Oh,
saw
there you
that
go.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nepotism,
Yeah.
we love it. We love it here in
Yeah.
NASCAR.
We love Nepo babies
Pay drivers. Woo.
like Chase Elliott.
Like just
Yeah.
like him.
Sorry.
also
I had to
sounds, yeah,
So
all
next
but
news.
put it in.
it sounds like it's all but signed. But Carson's going to the other Spire car, the 77.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just haven't officially announced it, but everybody's pretty
Sort of
much
the worst
Do we think
kept
that's the same
secret at
car?
this point.
Do we think it's the same car as the 7?
Not this year.
not now. Yeah,
No.
next year.
Next
Yes.
year it will be.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really hard to say because Ty Dillon really sucks.
Yeah.
See,
True.
I thought Ty Dillon in the 13 was decent back in the day. So
He was.
I
I mean,
mean,
did win
he,
that
he
state-
he drove
outperformed
that
it.
car pretty good, but
Yeah.
Ty's
still
not a
Ty
good
Dillon.
driver though. Ty's worse than
No.
Austin. Like,
But didn't they have an RCR alliance? Like, how much of an RCR car was that?
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ty, yeah,
I don't know.
Ty. I used to think Ty was way better than Austin, but that opinion has quickly shifted
Yeah.
away from that mindset. 'Cause, I mean,
I used to
even
think
way
the
back
same.
in the day, Ty was worse than Austin. So,
Yeah.
Austin's bad. So,
Not saying much.
yeah,
Okay, so we got some schedule news. No
Oh,
Bristol
yeah.
Dirt for 2024.
let's go.
I think we're all excited about it.
I am, but I'm not. I gotta say, I enjoyed
Shut
them.
the hell up.
I hated them. I hated them, but I enjoyed it.
I'm the same way, honestly. Like, I'm excited that it's gone. I'm excited we're getting 2 Bristols back, but I did kind of like the dirt a little bit.
See, I don't mind dirt. I
I don't
100%
either.
mind losing Bristol for dirt. So, like, I mean,
Okay, but this goes back to our 1 date or 2 dates debate.
Yeah,
Is
I think Bristol's
the-
one of them that deserves to.
Why? Do you
because-
see the attendance of the spring race? How much did we complain about how crappy the spring races were
the
anyway?
weather
Half
and
the time, the
everything.
only time like even this race.
I thought the spring races were good.
Did you?
But
watch
they
the
always
spring
get delayed.
races?
Yeah, I've
The
seen
stands
good
were
spring races.
empty every year. Like, it was just
I mean,
like, there's nothing. Like, what?
That's nothing to do with if it's a good race or not. That's also part of this conversation of
Regardless, I mean, they care about ticket sales.
weather delays. I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, you're not asking me as a track owner, do I want 2 dates? You're asking me as a fan. I love Bristol, and I want to see. I race there 3 times a year. I love Bristol. It's my
Even
favorite
after
track.
this race.
I'm not going to blame Bristol for what this car is doing to short tracks.
I'm
agree.
not saying we do.
True.
I'm saying right now in the state that the car's in
Yes.
and everything.
I love
With
Bristol
DJ
Bristol
one.
deserve 2 dates. Why?
because I love Bristol. I
Great.
just do. Traditionalist.
So speaking of the 1 date or 2 dates, now that Texas only has 1 date, they're talking about moving to a spring race instead of a playoff race.
Please
Alright.
God, do that.
I would just get rid of it completely.
Yeah.
But best case scenario,
Yep.
keep on the schedule, get rid of it in the playoffs.
Yep,
take
I'm
that, yeah.
right there.
Wonder what's
would you-
going to replace it.
Yeah, what would you replace it with?
I mean, it's not going away. Well, you're saying in the playoffs?
Yeah, for the
North Wilkes playoff race would be interesting.
That would be.
But
Especially if it's the only race on the calendar there.
And think if it switches dates, what you're getting North Wilkes, Talladega, Roval for that stretch.
Wow.
I would enjoy that.
Would be pretty nice.
You'd also have a short track in every round of the playoffs then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which right now I don't want.
hate it.
Right now I really don't want this car's driving on short tracks. But if we could fix it on short tracks, I'd love it.
Yeah, I don't disagree there. I don't know. I like North Wilkesboro. I thought it put on a good show. So, speaking of short tracks, the Clash is back, 2024.
Woo.
And they're going to be joined with them by the Mexico series.
The Messis series.
Mexicar. I like the move. I really do.
Yeah,
I think it'll be bring a little highlight to those guys. It's a good move. They're going to be faster, aren't they, Zach?
I bet they're going to put on a better race than our Cup cars are.
Yeah.
I think they run little 4-bangers in those things. They're going to be zipping around there, beating and banging. It's going to be great.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
They're going to get through those.
It's going to be like watching a hobby stock race or something like that.
Yeah. And they're going to fight for it like really hard just because.
Oh, yeah. They'll put a show on.
It'll
be cool.
Yeah.
It'll be cool. I'm sure some people are pissed off about being at the Coliseum again, but it's like, I don't know.
I'm fine with it.
Give me a better idea. Like, the Clash at Daytona for years has sucked. I don't know. Give me a better idea.
I think it's a cool event. It's in a cool historic atmosphere. Like the track looks cool. It's in LA. Like I think it's overall a good move to stick it there. We've already put the resources into getting it there. Obviously,
I wonder if they tried to get another stadium, because hadn't that been floated around, like rotating big stadiums?
I don't know if that was like a.
I wonder.
I don't know if that was
it's been a discussion
around, or if that was just like people's ideas.
Twitter.
It's like we can do it now, right? In theory, we can do it.
I only bring that up because like the first year that night they announced for this year they're doing it again, but they didn't announce anything. We didn't hear a peep about it until this week, so that's why it makes me think that maybe they were trying to get whatever New York City
put in a Kid Brewer.
Yeah, seriously,
that would be sick though. I mean, can you imagine the mountains like that?
Oh gosh, I would. I mean, well, yeah, but I would love that. But again, I think it's cool. I'm excited.
I think they floated the idea of the Dolphins Stadium actually being.
Oh, sweet! Then maybe we could see another awful graphic from Miami Dolphins with NASCAR instead of Formula One.
Which game was that?
That was the Sunday night football game.
Yeah,
Miami
and whoever they were playing.
Horrendous.
Just the worst graphic I've ever seen in my entire life.
The Dolphins even tweeted it out. Like, look
they
at
did.
this.
They had the balls to say, "Look at what we made.
Look what we made, guys." Gosh,
it's terrible.
In case
the worst thing I've ever seen.
Here's the worst. Here's someone who just learned how to use Blender yesterday, making a Formula 1 graphic.
They found some cool F1 models off of Reddit
and had a crazy idea.
Yeah, it was bad. I forget where we were going. So, I do have a question. So, if you put North Wilkesboro as a full points race somewhere, what do you do with the All-Star?
Ooh.
It's a great question.
Go
back to Charlotte.
I think you just take it back to Charlotte.
I mean, it's the capital. You know what I mean? It's like you put it in the capital.
Week-long events, just do it.
It's just like the duels and stuff like that, like leading up to Daytona. Like, it's building up hype for the 500.
Yeah.
The All-Star race builds up the hype for the 600.
Yeah. And it's the race I always let me and Joe have talked about this before. It's the perfect race to bring non-NASCAR fans to.
Yeah.
Because it's so consumable. Like, it's so short. It's like very doable. Like, the races are all pretty short and fast pace and everything. So you don't have to drag someone along to the 600 to sit there for 5.5 hours. Through rain delays, you can just kind of take in this bite-sized little race. Which, I mean, you can just do that any city, but I just like it being in Charlotte.
I have two takes. So, speaking related to the All-Star race, so yes, bring it back to Charlotte. Since right now the short track package is ass, run the All-Star race at 1.5 until you can fix the short track, because you want the All-Star race to be fun. Like, it was great that it was at North Wilkes this year, but it was a snooze fest.
Yeah.
So I'd say run it at Charlotte, run it at just Charlotte. And I know there's been a lot of talk of like bring back Charlotte Oval instead of Roval, then switch in or another road course for the Roval playoff date. So as much as I want Charlotte to have 3 dates back, that's a little selfish, but
Same.
just a little
Rockingham.
But
Ooh,
Rockingham would be great.
The Rock would
Yeah.
be cool.
Yeah,
Rock would be a
short
good
track.
call.
Keep it in the same market, but a different track.
Then
Yeah.
Hickory Motor Speedway. Then
That place is a shithole right now.
whoa, how dare you?
Damn. Tell us how you really
Joe's
feel,
no
Joe.
respect for local short tracks.
Did you just say the bathroom? Did they get rid of the trough?
No, they still have the
No.
trough.
They have
That's
the
why
trough.
Joe's mad.
It's a real racetrack.
Yeah, exactly. Joe,
We
don't
haven't
you
been to
ever,
Hickory this
don't
year.
you ever talk crap about Hickory Motor Speedway again.
We haven't been this year. We gotta go.
We do have to go. Not after that
They're
comment.
not letting you in now.
Yeah, God,
Yeah.
you're banned.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that. Whatever.
No, I know what you
Yeah,
mean.
but
That's
the
Comments
not
from
me,
Joe
that-
Sullivan do not reflect everyone at the Green White
I
Trigger
meant-
podcast.
I meant it more. Hickory needs a lot of money to host Cup race.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah, I mean-
that's fair.
It's fine. It's in decent shape, but the facilities could use a little bit of
I mean, have you been to
if I'm being
Martinsville? You know what I mean? Like Martinsville
That's fair.
facilities are like Darlington, even like their bathrooms are. I'm not,
Yeah.
troughs aside, like again, that's the mark of a true racetrack. But I mean,
True.
I agree, it does need work. I think they could dress it up a little bit at least. But I like the kind of grunginess of old racetracks like Darlington and Hickory and
Or go to a short track and run late models for the All-Star race.
that, like
Figure
an
that
IROC
out.
kind of thing. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be
I
sick.
like it.
That'd be very.
It'd
sick.
be awesome, but I don't see him doing that.
No, that wouldn't happen, but that'd be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Joe was talking about tracks spending money. No Road America 2024. I am upset with this because that track
Boo.
took every cent that they earned from NASCAR, dumped it back into their new facilities, new everything. Completely dumped. But I'm pretty sure this is just for the Olympics, and we might supposedly get another cup date
Mhm. I saw that
afterwards. Yeah, so I
Yeah. They
mean,
better.
we've already heard that in 2024, that's going to be the last year possibly for Chicago. And they might look at going back to the Oval there, but it does sound like it's possible Road America gets another cup date. I would love that.
Please, that'd be great.
I'd love to go back to Chicagoland. I hope they do.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm saying that.
Especially
What
with this
reality
car.
is this?
I mean,
Yeah,
this
with this
car's
car for sure.
Phenomenal.
like it puts on some like those kind of tracks. I feel like it puts on some of the best shows. So I'd love to see Chicagoland back.
So
Which again, I
weird.
never thought I'd be saying because that was a snooze fest with Gen 6.
Well, and what pisses me off is like I saw somebody on Twitter, venting as they do, about how NASCAR fans, they don't know what they want. They were complaining about not wanting 1.5s and wanting short tracks and road courses, and you got it. Now you're complaining about short tracks and road courses, and you want 1.5 back. It's like it's circumstantial.
Yeah.
Like the Gen 6 car sucked at 1.5s,
Mhm.
but it was very good at short tracks and road courses. Okay, so we shifted the schedule. Well, now we got the opposite problem. So we got to go back. So it's like you just got to kind of, in a sense, you got to chase where the product is good, really. And right now 1.5s and the bigger tracks, that's where this car's the best.
Yep. I agree.
I agree too.
I agree. Fourth.
So
Which is
on
annoying 'cause I love short tracks. But anyway, what?
some sadder news, Sherry Pollux? Yeah. Lost her battle with ovarian cancer.
That's tough.
Sherry Strong organization.
sad.
I mean, yeah, she raised a lot of money for, cancer, all that. And so it's sad to see her go. Or see her go. God, that's awful to say.
Jesus
Um,
Christ.
Yeah.
I know.
Danica
Jesus.
Fitzgerald, my God.
Jeez.
Oh,
No, but
sorry
it's
for
it's
that
very
loss.
sad.
Yeah,
Corey-
obviously a
Yeah,
big name
very-
in the NASCAR community and did a
Yeah.
ton of incredible work. So she'll definitely
Yeah.
be missed. And
I mean,
thoughts
how
prayers
many-
to the family.
how many like significant others of drivers do you know by name? Like
Right.
Yeah,
that come in
exactly.
and make that much of a difference in the sport. She came in, everybody knew Martin Truex' girlfriend, Sherry Pollux. We all knew her because of the work she did and how she tried to help as many people as she could with all of her charities and stuff. So, it's a big loss, but I think, her legacy is definitely going to live on, which is really the best
Yeah,
anyone can ask for.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I believe it's sherrystrong.org. Go donate, do your thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And on side notes, I just want to get a collective "Go fuck yourself, Danica Patrick."
Yep.
Yes.
I second that.
That
Okay.
that opinion is shared by all members of the Green White Checker podcast.
Yes.
Absolutely is.
It's amazing.
It's
She's
not
been out of
about
the
you,
sport
Danica.
for how many years, and she's still somehow the absolute shittiest person to ever come through or go out of
Just
NASCAR.
what? Even if it was
Like,
written
why?
by a PR person, why do you say that? Like what? Like
Yeah.
Who
Like,
cares?
who
Is my
cares?
question.
yeah, it's
What do you
What
want
do you
Martin to
expect
do?
him to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You want him to
Plus-
get on like crying about, he's gonna
Yeah.
deal with it his own way.
right.
He put out a
And-
statement. He didn't even have to do that.
Yeah.
No.
So,
But I
get the
mean,
fuck
if,
outta
if
here, Danica.
anything, him doing that kind of statement lets it be about Sherry. Like if he comes
Yeah.
out and does this like crying, ugly crying thing on Twitter, like some
yeah.
ugly crying video, then it's about Martin and his reaction.
Right.
Mhm.
Exactly. And
Like, he's
Danica
letting
just
it
made
be about her.
reaction and made it
Right.
about herself, which she loves to do. So
Like, I'm sorry, Martin is dealing with this in a way that you find unacceptable. Like, fuck
Yeah.
off, dude.
Yeah.
Grief
Jesus.
is different, man. Like, jeez.
The
And
worst.
plus, Martin, I think he's like rarely on social media anyway, outside of like
Right.
ad stuff. So it's like,
He probably doesn't run any of his social media accounts.
no.
yeah,
no
and
shot.
you think everyone's answer wasn't written by a PR person? Like, come on.
Right. Like, all right, Jesus.
And then
you
it
are
doesn't
just
mean that person's
the
not grieving for that person being lost. Like, it's public, so they're gonna have
Yeah.
someone probably write that stuff for them to make sure they don't say
Mhm.
anything insensitive. But clearly, Danica just wrote that post herself. So,
Yes, you did.
which we can talk.
Can't keep her foot out her ass.
Oh
That's for sure.
God. I hope I don't have to see her face on the Indy 500 again this year. Or
Please
next
God,
year.
no.
They need to stop hiring her. Sky Sports for the
And-
F1 stuff too.
Yeah.
She does not know what the fuck she's talking about. She's the worst person I can think of in the sports world. Just get her the fuck out. She's
Yeah.
such an
And
asshole.
I said on Twitter, the only thing worse than Danica Patrick is Danica Patrick on Fox Sports. So, or Fox broadcast, I think I said. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's why is she relevant? Get her, just stop. Get her out of
Nobody
here. Yeah, let's move on. Okay. Yeah, let's move on. Let's do this.
Please.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about her anymore.
So let's talk about Bristol, boys. I think we're
Bristol,
going to start with the
baby.
trucks. We're going to end on Cup because we want to talk about the playoffs and all that. So
I did not watch her.
they had a decent race. It was kind of boring. Eckes led most of the laps until the end where Tanner Gray kind of held him up, and here comes Corey Heim to take the lead and the win.
Mm.
So I don't like the teammate stuff, but it is what it is. Good for
Sounds like
Corey Heim.
manipulating a race.
It does, and it was.
Somebody
but-
got 25 point and $50,000 fine for that. Just saying.
Yep. And believe me, Eckes brought it up in his post race. He was not happy. I don't blame him. But yeah.
Hmm.
Then we go to Xfinity. It was the teammate battle day because
Yeah, it
we
was.
had multiple teams get into it. You had Barry and Mayer get into it. Barry cuts a tire and just takes out Mayer. Not his fault, but then Mayer comes out and in his interview basically says he's going to fight Barry, which I would love to see because he couldn't fight Ty Gibbs.
Right.
So Barry's going to win that. And I think he brought up that he's not a Cup driver. That Barry's not. So, okay.
Or no, he said those aren't the actions of a Cup driver. Like he said something like, well, I sure hope he cut his tire because those aren't the actions of a Cup driver or something like that. Like that's what he's saying. Like, who are you to give anybody sass? Get out of
One-
here.
2 road courses, 1 an oval, boy.
And the other one,
Um,
and one of them, you wrecked the guy in front of you to win it.
Yeah.
And wasn't it just the other week you shoved Parker Kligerman into the wall? You need to
Yeah.
calm down, Sam Mayer.
Yep. I'm not a Mayer fan.
No.
Honestly, was very disappointed he got re-signed. But the other teammate battle was Hill and Creed. Creed ended up wrecking Hill basically, and there was some words on the radio. I don't know if anything happened afterwards, but yeah, it was just interesting that most of the wrecks we had were just teammates running into each other. Dale Jr. He was running pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
He was the whole crowd. You could hear it. It was like the old days when Junior would get up there and take the lead. You could hear the crowd over the the announcers and that. But he was battling up there and then ends up catching himself on fire. Don't know what happened, but he pulled into the pits, signaled to I think it was the 20 crew that there was a fire, hopped out, and then went and told every media person that he had caught fire and showed them. So
Yeah, I thought it was like I thought at first like, oh, he's just pulling off to be nice and let his guys go and battle out or whatever. And then I saw the singe on his fire suit. I'm like, oh wait, never mind. That was very much so real.
Yeah, I mean, good for him to be up there battling. He had a shot to
He
win
looked
it.
good. He looked very good.
Yeah,
he was,
go ahead.
I was saying he said he's like Jeff Gordon texted me. He's trying to get all these retired guys to run some Xfinity races. That would be very nice.
I think it was just fun to hear him be like, man, I miss this. Like talking about how much fun he's having. I feel like every time Junior gets in the car, he does something like that, and it's just nice to see him having fun. You know what I mean?
Oh,
yeah.
No, seriously.
Yeah, I know at Martinsville he got out and he was saying how much fun he had racing Josh Williams.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, we love to see him. He's a great personality, obviously. He said he was doing it to show his daughters what he, did it for a living.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
cool.
It was cool for his daughters to be there to see him do that. Obviously, the fire might have scared him a little bit, but
right.
Justin Allgaier pits with 50 to go. It works out. He ends up winning. Just drove through the field. And then after the race, he announces that he is back in the 7X series. Junior Motorsports hadn't announced it, but that's how he broke it. He deserves it.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's got the only oval win this year for Junior Motorsports.
Is it safe to say Allgaier is just going to be a career Xfinity guy? Are we at that point?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
He's never going anywhere.
So you brought that up. So someone asked that on a Reddit post, and because like he has that brand sponsorship and whatnot, but it's like unless he goes, and Parker Klingerman responded on Reddit, he's like, pays about the same to be a top Xfinity guy as a mid-pack cup guy, yet you get Sundays off and he gets trophies. In his case, he's the gatekeeper of the series. Unless he gets a top ride, why would he want to leave? And I agree with that. I didn't know about the money part, but
yeah, that's interesting.
I'd chill and win trophies.
I thought AJ was going to be a career Xfinity guy. To be honest, he was, kind of doing the same thing, like running super well all the time. Then he moved up and now is, I don't know if I call him middle of the pack, some races, but
barely.
Yeah, barely middle of the pack. But I mean, who knows? Maybe he'll move up like that. But it is interesting they make about the same.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't talk about Hemrick. Did we say about Hemrick being in the 31? Is that a thing? Is that confirmed?
I think it is confirmed, isn't it? Yeah, we missed that.
Yeah, that's a weird move, isn't it? You whatever happened with Haley, and then I have concerns about colleague. I don't know.
I do too.
Yeah.
I don't know what they got going on, but it doesn't seem very good right now.
Bad business choices. I mean, maybe it's good business choices. Maybe it's all the money.
It's hard to say. Performance-wise, their on-track performance, I do not feel good about.
Well, I'm trying to find that tweet. Chris Rice said something like he hired him because he tries hard or something like that. I need to find a tweet, make sure I quote it right. But I was like, okay, what?
Yeah. I like the Zane one. I don't know if you guys saw the press release with Zane. Zane's not bringing a lot of money, but just you could see during the announcement that he is excited. Like he's overjoyed to be in this. He's not paying his way.
Yeah.
He's not, he's excited, and I'm excited because that's what it needs to be. It needs to be the guys with the talent moving up and driving these series, not the guys with the big pocketbooks, which that's what seems to be happening, in my opinion, to the 31.
Yeah.
So I found
Does Daniel Hemrick have a huge pocketbook though?
No, I don't think so.
That's like the weird thing. I think like they seem like the Haley thing went away because like the money wasn't there. There's money issues, and then you go with Hemrick, which I don't think he's. I mean, maybe he's got some money, but he's not like he doesn't have
in there, right?
Yeah. He doesn't have like a big Menard sponsorship like Brennan Jones does or something like that. Like I don't know. I mean, I guess it makes some sort of financial sense, but to go with a guy that has one Xfinity win for his entire NASCAR career, like that's the only thing he's ever won in.
Yeah.
So I found the
It's
quote.
wild.
Chris Rice said, quote, "Sometimes it does not matter how well you run on the racetrack. It's how much you care." Hey, Chris, I care a lot. Where's my ride?
Yeah, really. Come on. Ugh.
Like,
Yeah.
it does matter. I mean, it matters to a point how good. Obviously, if you have a lot of money, it doesn't matter. But
This coming from the same guy that said
Sport for so long.
you should only make the playoffs if you win.
yeah, that's funny. He says that. Yeah.
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 He's got some interesting takes.
I don't know. I think Haley's a decent driver. Colleague's not a good team.
Yeah, they got something.
When do they
going on.
compete?
That has to be why
Road
he
courses.
left. There's no other reason.
I mean, they used to be a powerhouse in Xfinity,
Yeah,
and now they're
seriously.
just
Xfinity.
nowhere.
Yeah, once they got
Well, even
the
there,
Cup team and
they've
dumped all the money
they've lost
there.
everything in Xfinity. That's why they had AJ run Road America. They're desperate to win something,
And look what happened. They had a
and they
mechanical
didn't.
failure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So-
I mean, who did they just put in the 10? They moved somebody there. Was it Hemrick?
Yeah, for the isn't the 10 in the owners point still or something like that?
Yeah, I think something like that.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, I agree that Colleague's kind of on the way down, and I don't think it's going to get any better. from the
No,
looks
I
of
don't.
it.
I don't love the way they're going right now.
I mean, if they get rid of AJ in the 16, who'd they put in there?
I don't know. Chandler Smith, I guess.
Is he ready? I don't think he's ready.
Who else you got?
I know that's the point. Like, I don't know. I think they're making bad moves, and
I mean, is he not ready? You got Carson Hocevar, who doesn't run Xfinity and just going straight from trucks, and the couple races he's run in Cup, he looks okay. So
yeah. But how many races did Chandler Smith win in trucks?
I don't know.
One?
I
I think it was one. And
How many
then,
races Hocevar won?
Like 3, 4?
3 or 4? I think it's only 2, isn't it?
I don't know. But
He only won his first race this year. I think he won a second one. He won
Okay.
Richmond, and I think he won. Did trucks go to Texas?
it was Texas,
Yeah, so Richmond, Texas.
and he wrecked 3 people to do it.
Yeah.
But
so, I don't know, man. It's
I mean, if you would have told me in April, Chandler Smith's going to Cup, I'd be like, fuck yeah, he's ready. But watching the rest of the season, Xfinity, it's like, I don't know about that. But maybe it's just a decline in, the Colleague stuff.
I mean, it's a decline in the car, and everybody's saying that the truck is more like the Cup car than the Xfinity car is. So what you do in Xfinity, is that really relevant to anything in Cup?
Yeah. Yep.
So who knows? Anyway, back to the Xfinity race and the playoffs and all that stuff.
Yeah, so, I mean, this was their first playoff race. 48 car, Kligerman, he had a strong run going. Ended up having a hub failure. I'm guessing he's probably out first round here. Other than that, I don't know. I didn't really keep up with it. I just know he had major problems. I think he was the only one. But before we move to Cup, make sure to watch us on YouTube Tuesday nights at 9:30 Eastern.
Yeah.
Ish, yeah.
And then if you missed that, we catch us on Spotify, Apple, all the major podcasts and all that fun stuff. We're also on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, so give us a follow.
GWC
Subscribe.
pod on-
Like the
Yep.
like the content.
Yeah, and give us
Woo.
ratings.
Like, comment,
helps
subscribe,
us.
rate,
Yeah, do all those things.
TBH, like for
React.
TBH,
Like for TBH.
like for a rate,
Oh gosh.
AMA.
Okay. Well, after that little note there, Cup race, Denny Hamlin wins.
Woo!
He beat
Yeah.
your favorite driver.
He beat everybody's favorite driver.
Yes,
So-
he did.
Because he sure ain't my favorite driver.
I-
so.
Yeah, his after race comments were amazing to me. I love a driver showing personality. Joe, what's that like?
I
Joe doesn't know how to process all that.
Yeah.
It was a good interview. I texted in the Discord immediately. Like that was a legendary
It was
legendary
really
interview.
good. And it carried on like through the press room and
Yeah.
outside.
Kept that
and-
energy.
Yeah. Gotta love to see it. And I mean, even in his podcast, he says he loves to talk shit. It's like, good. Keep it.
I mean, he's in a corner, right? Like, I mean, what are you gonna do? You gonna go out there and try to win the fans back, and they're just gonna all boo you anyway? Like,
Right.
nothing he does will, he could go out there and not say anything negative and just be, oh boy, I love being here. Thanks for the interview.
The spirit of old Kyle Busch has been transferred from the 18 to the 11. Clearly,
yeah, he's just full on leaning into the heel. So let's go. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I love it. It's great. I think it's great for the sport.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I love Sassy Daddy.
Can we start calling him the Zucchini Man though?
Oh, that was funny.
Yeah, got the watermelon man with Ross. And...
It was a cucumber.
Was it cucumber? I thought it was zucchini.
That was a cucumber.
Okay, cucumber man. I don't care. Such a weird thing to throw on the track. Like, why do you have that? First of all, but yeah,
making a Greek salad. But yeah, there's a couple.
What do you guys think of the race, Zach? What do you think of the race?
The start of it, man. I thought we were in trouble. As happy as I was to see Christopher Bell take the lead, it was just you saw all the cars shoot right to the bottom for the PJ1. And I mean, they say, well, we all want classic Bristol where you run the bottom, which is true, but not artificially. And the problem with this car and cars with aero, I think the Gen 6 even had issues with it. That's why they had to do the downforce stuff. You just can't get close enough to do anything. Like, the whole idea is everybody's running the bottom. You can get up underneath the guy in front of you and bump him up out of the way. Well, you could see like half-second gaps between every single car all the way through the field because that's as close as you can get. So that sucked for a while, and you could see how hard it was too. Even when Bell caught Suarez, he couldn't get by him. Like, I'm lapping you and I'm struggling to pass you. It's sort of ridiculous. But once the top lane started to come in a little bit and you started dealing with lap traffic, which goes back to my point about getting rid of stages and having lap traffic become more of a thing more often, because it forces drivers off of lanes and into different grooves and stuff like that, then the race did get better. So I think like the second half was more interesting and more compelling to watch. But at first it was... Ugh.
Yeah, it was the same with the Xfinity race. It was just bottom groove, and then as it moved up, it got better.
Yeah, it definitely got better
still
as it went.
It seemed hard to pass still. I mean, once everybody moved up, then the guys couldn't go low and pass.
Yeah, it's like
if you could, you won the race.
In that sweet spot where all lanes are working, the PJ1's still active enough to let the bottom lane work, but it's not overactive or it's the only lane that works. It's like that sweet spot, but that I feel like that doesn't last that long. And end of the day, I thought we had gotten away from PJ1. Is this the first race we've used it at this year?
Maybe Nashville, or no?
Yeah, maybe
Nashville's the only one I think that might have had it.
Have we used resin or anything? Like, I feel like this is the first artificial substance.
I could have sworn we used resin, but I think this might be the first PJ1 application. But we've used a resin. I don't know what the fuck the difference is.
Yeah, I felt like
Richmond. I think Richmond's right.
I just felt like a little bit of my soul left my body when I saw that tweet of them applying. I was like, oh, come on, back to this. But
I think it helped.
Yeah, it's otherwise you get a single lane top the whole race. So at least we got a little bit of dynamicness there. I just wish the cars kind of stand on their own, I guess. And I haven't watched enough old races to know if like Bristol ever like naturally, I guess, like even with old cars, or if maybe I don't know, it had to produce good racing. It has produced good racing.
God, yes.
Yeah. But I mean, like how do we get back to that, I guess, is really my question.
Like, the argument is they ruined the track when they reconfigured it because they added progressive banking.
That's what I mean, is with this current progressive banking, has it ever produced like top tier racing?
No.
Like, obviously, the old Bristol, of course it did. Not questioning that at all. It's just,
I think...
Have we ever gotten that level of good racing without PJ1 at current configuration Bristol?
I think so. I think we've seen good races. Have we seen as good of... Now, the best race with this current configuration is still not as good as the best race on the old configuration.
But there have been some killer races with this config, for sure.
I think there have been, for sure. Yeah. So I don't know. It's hard to say. It's different. I think I don't know. I think going back to the old configuration would be the best idea, but I've seen this one certainly put on good races as well. So I don't know. It's a loaded question that I'm not qualified enough to answer.
I guess it's like with the current configuration, how much are we putting on the car and what can we do to the car to make the racing at Bristol good? like just naturally good without PJ1, or are we just looking at the configuration, the progressive banking, or do we just keep putting PJ1 down?
Put it everywhere. Put it in the lane.
Yeah, well, but yeah, it kind of defeats the entire purpose. But yeah, no, I get your point. Yeah, something drastic.
We had the short track package on this, right?
No.
No,
Bristol does not have the short track package.
I thought it was just Dover. Okay,
nope,
you might be
Bristol
right.
as well.
I don't know.
So we were running high dom force on top of that.
Yeah. So my
higher.
thing is remove the underbody stuff, raise the car up.
That's what I want to see. Like, just start taking shit off. Like, go crazy over the off season. Take that underbody off. Take the entire spoiler off. Give nothing. See if you can block off that front grille. Because, I mean, we have a big gaping front grille now that lets a lot of air through. And I'm pretty sure that all channels into, like, little grooves and whatnot that sit on... Well, I guess if you take the underplate off, then it takes those things away anyway. Because I think on the other side of the plate, on the top side of the plate, like behind the wheels, there's like grooves and stuff like that that channel air, almost like a sort of wing, if you want to call it that. So I don't know. Get rid of that underbody and see what the hell happens, and add horsepower while you're there.
And make the gearing different so we're not shifting on short tracks.
I don't know how much they were shifting at Bristol. I don't know if they were or not.
Or at least like at Darlington.
In NIS, you're not shifting, which we know iRacing is an exact representation.
Yeah, it's a simulation.
It's a simulation.
Exact simulator.
Fun fact, in iRacing, they actually didn't make fifth gear tall enough, so you're bouncing off the chip if you got a good run out of the corner.
Classic.
Honestly, didn't pay attention in the broadcast if they're shifting or not.
I don't remember them shifting. I don't think they shift here. I think it's too fast.
Yeah, I don't think you need to with the speed of it.
Yeah, that's true. At Martinsville, they are, and that makes me want to throw up. At Darlington, it makes me want to throw up.
The concept itself of shifting doesn't bother me. It's what shifting does and how close these gears are and how easy it is to correct a mistake. It's just like, which adds so much to the racing being boring, especially like Martinsville right now. It's just like, at least here you saw, there's some bump and runs. Like, I think Bell did one on AJ lapping him or something. But I think that, again, the concept doesn't mind. I don't mind it. Like they, talked about shifting Indy back in the day, but that was just different kind of shifting. Like, it's like drop a gear to whatever. But this is like, oh, made a mistake. Let me just downshift. And oh, there's all my traction back. Let's just get right back to it. So they got to do something about that.
So I'm going to.
Have they announced any testing? Sorry to interrupt you, Andrew, but while we're on this topic, have they announced anything they're going to try on the off season?
No.
Surely they're going to be looking at something, right? I just don't know if they've said anything.
Well, they said they were going to do something. I don't know, a couple months ago. I think it was. Man, what fucking track was that? Was it at Richmond? Where they said they were going to try a new one, but they didn't really say what it was.
I just remember at Richmond they tried a bunch of goofy stuff. Like they tried like that goofy front splitter that was like supposed to lift while you're in clean air.
Yeah.
But they said they didn't feel any difference.
Yeah, and I know they tried other stuff just kind of because they were there.
Yeah, I don't know if they had any announcements or plans for anything else to try in the future or not. They got to be working on something. NASCAR does not want short tracks to suck. I know that much.
I mean, they want racing to be good everywhere, which doesn't.
Well, I mean, they want to be able to sell promos. I mean, the whole idea of short tracks is those are supposed to be like as exciting as plate tracks with the beating and banging and rooting guys out of the way and all that. They want to show the promos of somebody getting spun out and then going and fighting later. Like, they love that stuff. So right now you're not really getting that because you can't get that close in this car.
Right.
So
Well,
they definitely don't want it.
And I mean, I think it's the last 4 weeks. If you were to get rid of the stage cautions, how many cautions, like natural cautions, do we have?
Oh God, don't tell Joey Logano.
Like 2.
I think it's like 3. So it's not great, but it's better racing. Don't get me wrong, but the no cautions and then the stages, I don't know. It's a mess. But what I was gonna say before Zach rudely interrupted me.
Oh,
yep, I do that.
I'm gonna skip ahead real quick to kill count because we only have one, and it's Corey LaJoy, and this man did us a service.
Hey,
thank you for your service.
Salutes up to Corey LaJoy.
Thank you, Corey.
#1 Corey LaJoy podcast.
Yes. Even above his own.
This
Love
man just took out Joey Logano,
King.
who is out of the playoffs now. So,
King.
Hate to see it.
It's tough, Joey.
I was bummed
That's
to see
real
him
tough.
spinning, and then I saw him back up into jelly. I was like, wow, he
Yes.
knew what he was doing. He did something
Yep.
for the people.
1,000
And
IQ
He went
move
and
right there.
got that second place stage 1 finish and said, all right, I've done half my duty. Time to do the second half.
hey, he continued the race. Joey did not. So,
He did not.
It worked
he
out.
did better than Danica. So, you can wreck someone without wrecking yourself. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Joey's out. Harvick's out. Anybody surprised by that one?
Nope.
No, I think I had a Penske guy out. Who did I have out specifically?
my bracket's already busted. So,
Yeah, everybody's
Uh,
in. Zach did the best on that. But where's Joe? Joe had.
Judd Harvick in round 8.
Yeah. Yeah, you had him moving on. You had Chastain and Wallace, who both advanced. So,
Was I the only one that picked Harvick?
Yeah.
yeah.
I think I had him kind of a long shot. I didn't think he was really going to make it. But I'm like, anything can happen. Just put him in there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
I thought being his final year, they were going to move on.
Bubba moved on.
Yeah, he did.
Bubba did move on.
Very nice.
Recky Stenhouse did not.
Yeah, not surprising.
Nope.
Mikey
And-
did not.
Michael McDowell did not.
I think
Yeah.
Mike.
He's
I
still
think
on
Mike
fire.
could have made it.
Dude,
I think Michael McDowell.
a late
Had he not?
caution. Mm.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
not
Oh,
even that.
If
Like,
Denny
if you
Hamlin
go back,
didn't take him out at Darlington,
Yeah.
I don't think that wasn't Denny's fault, was it? Didn't
No,
Denny
it
get
wasn't
wrecked?
his fault, but Denny came up.
That was Kyle's
and-
fault, actually. I remember right.
Yeesh.
I think Kyle started that whole thing. Because didn't
Did
Kyle
Kyle
run somebody?
spin Todd?
Like, Kyle ran somebody into the wall. And there was
Yeah,
like a chain
it's-
reaction.
Yeah,
But,
Todd
I mean-
spun to the inside, then Hamlin swerved right to miss it, and McDowell had nowhere to go
Yeah.
except
And then
in
what-
his rear bumper.
What happened to McDowell in Kansas? Didn't he get wrecked in Kansas?
I think he had a decent run.
Did he? I could have sworn he had a bad run in Kansas. Maybe
I-
maybe I'm high
I think
then.
he
I don't
ran
know.
okay. Well, sorry, Michael McDowell. I wanted him in advance. I think a late caution would have given him a good shot because
Mhm.
he was quick. I mean, it was a great run for that team.
He was top 10
Yeah.
all day.
Yeah.
He was top 5 most of the day, like
Yeah.
No, McDowell
I
finished
turned it-
26 at Kansas.
26. Okay, yeah, that's not great. But
I was like, I turned on the race in stage 3. I'm like, oh, Mikey's in top 10. Shit.
Yeah,
not
and
bad.
Yeah.
he had to win. I mean, unless he would have really outrun in the
Yeah.
first 2 stages and still finished second or third. I mean, they showed him in second place, and he was still like 7 points below the cut line. Which obviously people get
Yeah.
shuffle around. That may be mixed up as a race goes, but I mean, still his really only option was to win there, and he did good. But I mean, not a super surprising early exit. I was just really hoping after the season he'd had that he'd move on, but hopefully he does good again next season and can make his way in one way or the other.
that team's going the right direction.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Ricky had a good run too. I mean, he finished 10th. He was running around 6th and 7th for a decent amount for that race. So, I mean, that's good for that team too. They ran better than I expected most of the season. So, and so we did kill count. We got anything else for Bristol? Anybody else got some closing arguments here?
I do not.
Bristol spring race on the asphalt, concrete. My bad.
Concrete. I think the date's still going to hurt it. I think if they have it in the spring, same as they do, it's still going to hurt it. You're
I
not going
think
to
they might move it back if Texas moves up because that'll be the date I think it takes.
Because I mean, I don't obviously have the information in front of me, but like, I don't. Out of the last 10 spring Bristol dirt races, how many times has it rained? Like, I feel like almost every time.
It has the last 2 years.
And I think even before that,
Yeah.
I just think it's a really shitty time of year. And
I
I think
mean,
people that are familiar with that area know that.
Bristol used to be that weekend, and then Texas took it for a while. And I don't know when they put Bristol back on that weekend, but it needs to be later in the season.
Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe Texas moves back into that slot. Bristol goes a couple weeks later. Who knows?
Mhm.
But, I mean, the weather's a problem there.
Yeah.
Yep.
In the race.
Texas, who's ready? For
so ready.
Talladega.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm ready for a
Ready
good
for
nap on
Dega.
Sunday. I say that.
Oh, can you play that William Byron interview now, or
Yeah. Yeah, I watched the other day. I was like, oh man,
It's relevant
so
now.
bad. It
Yeah,
is.
it
I'll
is.
throw it in. I'll throw it in. I'll throw it up on whatchamacallit, the TikTok.
The TikTok.
Since Drake says I'm too
The
old for
TikToks.
TikTok.
The
Oh,
TikTok.
gosh.
So
Yeah,
I refuse to learn it.
Andrew posted our story about Ward Burton, and I was like, "Why did you do that?" Like, it was just a base interview. You didn't even put Subway Surfers underneath it. Come on, you got or a Family Guy clip or someone mowing grass or
oh god,
making a slide. Come on,
I
you
hate
gotta-
that so much. I hate it so much. It's like, let me just watch the clip without the bullshit on the side.
No, you gotta have
Like,
Subway Surfers underneath.
You gotta
Some
have some
dude-
random GTA
Yeah.
thing going on below it. Car running down a hill.
Oh yes, they have little jump things. Yeah, come on, at least
Yep.
put that in there. We'd have 8 billion views on that thing by now. Jeez.
But yeah, I'll throw it up. It was pretty bad. Like, it's so embarrassing. But yeah, I'm not looking forward to Texas. I know they're bringing a new tire because last year we had a shit ton of tire.
Yeah, this one's
failures.
even harder than the one we've had before, so
Yeah.
even less tire wear.
Yay. Well, I don't know. Maybe they get less traction with being hard. Who knows? But yeah, I'm not.
Low expectations. Probably the lowest expectations I have all year.
Which
Yeah.
is not a bad thing to go into a race.
It's
with.
not a bad thing. No, you're right.
No.
Except
I mean-
whenever it meets those low expectations and then it sucks. But
Yes.
Yeah.
Or somehow finds a way to be worse.
It's gonna be a
Right.
snooze fest.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
we'll definitely have some football up with the sound
Yeah,
on and maybe NASCAR in the
100%.
background.
Yeah, I'll be playing Starfield while it's on.
Yeah, that's generally been my MO for those kind of races.
It'll be football for me. So no.
The footy.
I'll have the race on,
Sure.
but it's definitely not going to be.
It'll be a second screen.
Not your
Yeah.
priority.
Yeah, it'll
Yeah.
maybe be like commercial break flip back, but I'll also,
Watch, it's gonna be a banger of a race now.
Yeah, and I want to keep up with like who's
It
doing
won't.
where, who's
Yeah.
finishing where and stuff for the playoffs. But yeah, the race itself will not be good. Football will be also on for sure.
It's just such a weird like setup, right? Like you start the playoffs, you go to Darlington, everybody loves Darlington. Get all excited. Go to Kansas. Kansas is amazing. Go to Bristol. Everybody loves Bristol, and then fucking Texas.
I will say it's nice to. I feel like we have less races we're not excited for now than we did with late Gen 6. Like there's only a handful in the schedule where I'm like, oh come on, like this one again,
Pocono.
like Texas.
Pocono.
Yeah, well, I feel like Pocono's put on a good show. A decent.
Pocono's
race, right?
okay.
Yeah,
It's
Pocono's.
been okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's one of those I've had low expectations for and kind of been surprised
It's
by.
because Denny Hamlin keeps taking everybody out and
Ah,
True.
he's such a dirty driver. It's crazy.
Yeah.
He
Horrible.
runs Larson up to a lane and a half on the wall. You know,
Yeah.
Larson, the guy that wrecks literally everybody. Ask Chase about it. Yeah, I mean, I think Pocono, you just gotta expect a certain type of racing there. It's gonna be a little bit different, but it's not bad.
Yeah, but
I
it
mean,
is nice to
Richmond-
have only a handful. Yeah, even Richmond's been fine. I feel like.
Yeah, we went into Richmond like, oh, we're not looking forward to this,
Mhm.
and then it was like, this is a good race.
Yeah,
Like,
hold
fuck
on.
yeah.
So it's nice to only
Yeah.
have a couple in the schedule now where we're like,
Phoenix.
this is going to be snoozy.
Yeah, Phoenix.
Yeah.
Phoenix only pisses me off because it's the championship race. If we just had like a regular seat, like the regular Phoenix race, I'm not like, ugh, but I'm just like, okay, it's just a race.
Yeah.
But the championship part of it, I hate that.
I agree.
Well, next, I heard Bob tweeted out that they're moving it to Texas next year for the finale.
There you go.
Championship race.
There you go. Great decision.
Please no.
Yeah, no.
Okay, we want to go over our playoff brackets here. Who's busted, who's not?
Sure.
I mean, we're all busted, but who did the best? Zach, you did the best.
Yay!
Yeah.
I had, let's see, I had McDowell out, Stenhouse out, Harvick out. The one I had wrong was I had Blaney going out, which
But you only had Joey going. He had Joey going out next round, so his bracket's
Yes.
still looking good.
Still pretty.
so
yeah,
if
pretty good.
Blaney goes out this round, that'll sort of work itself out.
Mhm.
And I will say, even though I was wrong with my pick, I still picked a Penske driver to go out. So that's sort of like worth
It's true.
a little.
pretty close.
Andrew, you did
Half
pretty
a point
good. You
there.
have Ricky, McDowell, and then you have Blaney again, but Joey's next round, and then Kyle instead of Harvick, but you have Harvick out next round as well.
And Logano out next round.
Do it.
I have Logano out next round. too.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. Logano and Harvick out next round, and they're
Yep.
Yeah.
So Kyle Busch and Bell next round, and I'm good. I'm back in it.
Mine's pretty screwed. I got Mikey and Reki correct. I have Joey going to the final four. Thought he'd turn on a little bit. He did not. I have Bubba going out instead of Harvick as one replacement, and then who's my other mistake here? I guess there's just those two mistakes. I have Brad going out this round instead. So 2 mistakes, but the longevity of Joey's kind of screwed me a little bit. And then Joe has Joey and Reki correct.
Yep.
He has Michael going to the next round, but he has
I have
Ross.
Harvick in round of 8. Oof.
Yeah, you have Ross going
That's
out
tough.
here though. Yeah, Harvick the round of 8's your biggest flub there. But you could get saved with if Ross or Bubba goes out next round, and then you're just 1 off in the round of 8 at that point. But anyway, so not super, still educated guesses going on here. I feel like the playoffs are always generally pretty unpredictable. Apart from maybe the Final Four, there's a little bit of predictability to the Final Four, just based on how many wins people have. And
well, you say that, and Martin Truex Jr., who is arguably one of the favorites to make it, all but didn't.
that's a great point.
Now he's right back in it.
He was 1 flat tire away from being out.
That's true. That's true.
He's back in it though, so I mean the reset of the points. I don't know if I'm a big fan of that.
I don't love it because now he's at the top again, even though he had an absolute shit first round.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like he's back at the top, and
I don't like
all
it.
is fine. I'm not in love with that.
But so Zach, I mean, you got a chance at winning this over all of us, but Survivor, you do not. So
I am fucked. I don't even want to talk about it. Survivor
Austin
pool
won this week, right?
Yeah, by picking Bell, which is who I should have picked. I should have known better going into this, but I
don't
wasted
think
Bell.
your points are updating,
chances.
right? So you're still at 68 on this thing.
Did somebody break it?
L50 plus 51. I don't even know where those are. Anyway.
I don't know. My points are irrelevant anyway. It doesn't matter. Yeah, they're not updating at all.
Those are just numbers to put in there.
Yeah, who cares? My score doesn't matter.
You're losing.
As long as everybody else is working. I'm last. Anyway.
Yeah, mine's working.
So who won? Drake won with Bell. And then Joe.
Second.
Yeah, Joe was second with Busher. Busher finished 4th. I didn't even notice.
Yeah, good run.
He's sneaky sometimes.
Dude,
I swear. Or I just don't pay attention.
I'm a Chris fan.
Yeah, I agree. He's
I don't
the
mind him.
underdog.
I like that RFK team. I like both Chris and Brad. I hope they do well. Till they start doing too well, and then I won't like them anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I was 3rd with Chase, and then Andrew finished us off with Brad, who was P8. All of us in the top 10. See, that's the problem I'm having. I'll pick a guy, he'll have an okay day, but you guys just do a little bit better.
It's like in fantasy when your guys put up mad points, but then the other guy has freaking the most
Mike
random.
Evans going 50 fucking points in the championship week last week.
Yeah, seriously. Or freaking, I had Daniel Jones on my bench who somehow put up 30 points or something. Yeah, 35 or something. This past
Byron
week.
Williams this week put up 30 something. It's like, this is a backup.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be doing this, but
Horrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's like that.
Same thing.
Sports
so,
analogy.
I
Sorry,
guess,
Zach. We lost you there for a minute, but
What? I wasn't paying attention anyway.
he blacked out for a couple seconds.
Yeah,
you heard football. I was like, huh?
Yeah, what?
So I got last. This is a pretty easy pick for me. I'm going Willie B.
It's a solid pick.
Yeah.
Good pick. I'm gonna go Martin.
Expected bounce back, huh?
Yeah, really.
Fuck, I can't talk
I
to that.
mean, he's kind of gotta, right? Like you can't. You got to figure they're gonna have a reset here after this round and how shitty it went. So, yeah, hoping he bounces back.
Joe, who you got?
I am gonna go with Bubba Wallace.
Interesting.
I like it.
Yeah, I would have taken Reddick, his teammate, but I already picked him, so I can't.
I really don't know who to pick here. So I'm gonna go with old Chase Elliott.
Awful pick.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, I know. Got to burn him at some point, you know. I need to get the
Yeah,
burn
throwaway
result.
pick. Okay. That's it for us. What do you guys think? Got anything else?
That's
Big
it.
news? Nothing?
No OnlyFans this week, right?
No OnlyFans. Make sure to submit. Go to our website,
Oh.
message on Discord, go to the Twitter, TikTok. I don't care. Just get it to us. Zach, you want to tell us where they can find us?
What? I'm focused on fixing my formula. I'm not paying attention.
All
The
social media is
GWC and all the
pod.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
GWC at the GWC pod on Twitter, the GWCpod.com. We have our socials. I'm not going to read all those out. They're in the outro. So yeah, head over to those sources, websites, links, whatever you want to call them,
Yeah.
pages,
Yeah.
stuff.
We like the OnlyFans. We don't care if it's racing related. Just get it to us. We love it. It's a good time.
Yes. Doesn't have to be racing related whatsoever.
No, in fact, the non-racing related questions have been the most fun.
Last week we had a fun one. We had the Muppet movie.
Oh yeah, dude. I
What was
went
the
around
one we had about the traffic light? I think I have an OnlyFans question for us. A twist on one we got. The one about
it was you had everything was always a green light, or you could speed without a cop carrying.
All right.
Right.
What if we tweak the speed without the cop into anytime somebody's in front of you in the left lane, you can vote to kick them out.
Oh, I'm doing that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's easy.
Yeah.
Or you can just wreck them off. You can just like turn them. Right.
Which is something I want to see, Elon. I don't know if anybody knows this, but Elon Musk listens to this podcast.
He does. Big fan.
He's
of the
messaged me.
GWC pod.
So, Elon, as autopilot becomes more of a thing and cars start talking back and forth each other, I do want a vote to kick option for just that. If somebody's going too slow in the left lane and there's cars behind them, they can all vote to kick and autopilot will kick on and move them to the right. That needs to be a thing.
Have you guys ever seen Black Mirror? There's an episode where like everybody has this rating system, right? And it's a social rating. They need it for driving.
Yeah.
Where you can be like, this guy fucking sucks. And just like,
it's like an Uber rating, but people just rate you're just driving.
Yeah, just normal driving. Everybody's rated. Yeah, I'm in for that. But yeah, good question there, Zach.
I thought about like the other day when I was stuck behind some, I don't know, Nissan Sentra going slower than what I wanted to go.
I honked at somebody on my way to work today, so I would definitely have used it because they were going 25 and a 45, and it was pissing me the fuck off.
Yeah, it just makes me angry.
Yeah. So
anyway,
join us next week for more road raging stories.
Yeah. Mom, that's it for us tonight. So make sure to listen next week on YouTube or watch on YouTube, listen on Spotify and all other major platforms. Catch us on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram.